Now, the negative aspects, if you observe, are actually worth mentioning. Why? Because this is actually challenging certain intellectual growth in freedom struggle. Like what? Number one, the base is actually narrow. Yes or no? I said in my previous class, the social base is actually emerging middle class. Remember that? Emerging middle class. The base is narrow, it's not a wider. Being a base narrow, what happened? All the benefits what British are going to do are not going to reach at the lower platform. The trickle-down theory, it too happened completely. That's why the education opportunities, employment opportunities did not touch everyone. Maybe others are resisting to have a transformation. Clear about it? I still remember when my grandfather was approached, my grandfather was a freedom fighter, by the way. He, after independence, he got that freedom quota. You know that freedom quota? We have a travel freedom quota, but so you can travel anywhere in India, and that happened in the first class. That's how. When he was offered actually a government job, he said, "Hey, who cares about government job? You're insulting me. I don't need it." And he says, "Freedom quota. Why? So that generation, that's a different one. Today, please give me a job." So being a narrow social base at that time, what happened? There was a compromise in intellectual growth. I repeat, rightly speaking, majority are resisting the transformation. Clear about it? Number two, indirectly encouraged mysticism. This is actually worth mentioning here. Occult practice. Remember Theosophical Society. I do remember the statement. The occult practice led by Theosophical Society is trying to restore the ancient cultural practice in India. And when you restore the ancient cultural practices, it doesn't mean only ancient cultural practices. It also includes a caste system. That is why in the month of December 1917, to counter Home Rule League movement led by Annie Besant, there emerged Justice Party. The Justice Party emergence is actually a counterattack to Theosophical Society only in Madras Adayar. Remember? In this way, sir, the restoration of certain cultural traits, creating tension to certain intellectuals. Number three, overemphasis on religious philosophical aspects of culture. People start talking about religious, the concept of God. You understand? The prayers, Upanishads, or you talk about the Sharia law, you talk about Zenda Avesta. Now, these kind of literature, scriptures, by the way, are literally not so open to criticize or not open for interpretation. And that too, what happened? People start thinking the social reforms only has to do with the religion. No, it's about the way of life. It's about a human understanding. Clear? So this is why when people start, for example, when Rajaram Mohan Roy talked about anti-sati, people thought it's an attack on Hinduism. No, it is a liberation of mankind. It took a long time for individuals to understand that he's talking about a human liberalism. People thought, "Hey, how dare you? You are attacking my religion." Got the point? Hindus confined to praise their ancient Indian history, whereas Muslims to medieval history created a notion of two separate peoples and increased the communal consciousness. I hope I studied that. Most of the Indian reforms, Hindu reforms, actually look back from the past, revivalist movements, and partly reformist. You may call it Vedanta, Neo-Vedanta by R.K. movement. Dan Saraswati talked about Vedas. Raja More talked about Upanishads. So this more attached to what ancient way of lifestyle. Same the story with the Muslims. Remember Sharia law? They want to restore the Prophet life. You may call it a Wahhabi movement, the Deoband movement. Aligarh movement talks about read the Islamic scriptures from the scientific outlook, scientific perspective. So what happened? People start identifying themselves what all that is in the past is the best. That's why even you read the first chapter of R.S. Sharma, he ends the chapter saying that not all that is in the past is all needed. There are certain unwanted traits also in the past. So it is a human discretion, your intellectual prowess that will help you understand what to pick and what not to. Clear about it? Historical process of evolution of composite culture rested to some extent. Historical process of evolution of composite culture. Composite culture meaning that we are all together. We are all humans. We are the son of the soils. This homogeneous concept did not survive for a long time. Clear about it? Why? People start drawing. We are these religious people. So example, Sayyid Ahmad Khan, the one who said that Hindus and Muslims are, I used to offer a beautiful bride. The same person, because of his political clout, interest, what he said, Hindus and Muslims can't stay together. In this way, the divide and rule policy actually, if you look at, took its roots from the social context on. Now, this is inevitable, sir. I repeat, this is inevitable. In the process, what happens when you start doing reform, you can't expect all to support you, all to understand you. Look at this point. Always there is a dissatisfaction in administration. Dissatisfaction. It doesn't matter how many good reforms you bring. There is always few mouths who start criticizing you. Why only this? Why not all? Are we clear about it? Especially elections is always every election in India is a Guinness World Record. I hope you know that. Some more it's a Guinness World Record. But still, irrespective of their machinery, the functionary is happening. But there is no voter participation is going high. There's always a dissatisfaction. It doesn't matter where you come from, IIT or IIM. You will remember in a bureaucracy, your senior will not appreciate your thought. Will not. He'll wantonly say, oh, if possible, say, share the thought to me, I'll share the idea to my boss. Now, this actually is seen everywhere. This is why the balanced administrative decision model is what? 60-40 rule. 60-40. 60 people say it is okay, then it's good to take a call. Clear? We moved from 60 to only 51% now. Clear? Psychologists say that 90-10 rule. 90-10 rule. 90% is in your hand, 10% is not in your hand. So don't think about the 10%. What is? Do 90%. But democracy functions only 60-40 rule, by the way. Clear about it? In this way, there is always a debate happen. This is why people like Jinnah took the advantage of this minority interest. Clear? V.D. Savarkar took the interest of majority interest, by the way. Clear about it? Sikhs got disappointed after partition, citing that, what is a great religious culture we had, homogeneous, but we got separate because of your political interest. There's always what? There's always certain limitations drawn out of these reforms. Clear? So there's a possibility. Do you agree that the religious interest, or we can say communal interest or communal tensions triggered from social reforms? The answer is yes, it triggered. Clear about it? Yep. Arrested meaning what? Halted, stopped, limited. Composite culture is a homogeneous culture that all humans to be treated equally, respected equally. On the other end, women we'll talk about. Women empowerment is discussed in every part, yes or no? Women education. But did women were given a chance to empower? Not all communities. Brahmin women were not allowed. Stay at home. Are we clear? So this composite culture of what? Humanism, a rationalism was arrested. That means arrested over refers to? Was checked. Was always limited by through counter-attack movements. Why? Obviously, sir. Obviously, because your modern thought is an evolutionary thought. Your orthodox thought is a reserved, or we can say certain endogamous thought, by the way. It's not easy to accept people. By nature, human is lazy. And you want to create his own bubble. That he is comfort in that bubble. And you ask the person to break the bubble, come outside and face the reality. People have no guts. People have no guts. Clear? So, no doubt it laid a foundation to the composite culture, certain homogeneous culture. But people forgot. Even when Mahatma Gandhi talked about the same, that we should refer the Dalits as Harijan. Harijan, Hari, God, Jan, children of God. People start asking, if they are God of children, then what we are? You understand what I'm saying? This is what you call arresting a composite culture. It took a long time, sir. This is why there's a beautiful saying in India, nothing happens in India because of a policy. It happens because of what? A movement. Let the people be involved in it. Masses should be involved to bring certain reforms. Here, this is a narrow base. Had this been a very mass base, would have been better. And you can't, it's premature to talk about that. That has to be a wider pace. Clear? Even till today, there are many people in the Europe, I think partly in India, who believe in flat earth concept. You know flat earth? You know that? You believe that? Know why? Did you see earth is a sphere in shape? Did you see with your own eyes? That's what they say. Are we clear? This is what I want to say, that their composite culture they want to create, but that is checked by certain elements. Okay, flat earth, this is very interesting. You saw that movie, Thor, Asgard, right? If you look from the Asgard, you will be seeing universe as a flat, like a table. You saw that? Anyone saw that? Congratulations. So there are certain Nordic mythology which strongly believe until the earth is flat.